Hello everyone, it's me again. I don't know why I'm making this video, but I am. So I'm going to do a review. I don't know why. I did not realize I was becoming a person that does stats on this game. So we're gonna check it out. So today would be good talking about the newest unit, as always, the Breacher. The description. Having built their reputation as the survivor's battering ram, the Breachers devastate anything they can reach. With some support, the Breachers leave holes in bodies where defenses once stood. So he's a very powerful infantry unit. Its speed is 2.2, Liberators move 1.3, so that's almost an entire point. Don't know why that would be even useful to you. Spartans and Breachers had the exact same movement speed, so expect them to be kind of slow, but not absolutely slow like, say, Liberators. Of course, they're a lot slower than the Acolytes, the Doges, the Detonators, anything that's fast. Its health is, which is one of the two key selling points I feel of this unit, is 1.2725. It's 1,275,000. Very strong, a very powerful unit indeed. Range is 200, and this is for level 1 unit, by the way. Range is 200, so it's not exactly a long range unit. In fact, there are very few units in the game that have less than 200 range. So it is a very close range unit, as fitting the description of the battering ram. Its DPS, which is I feel its key selling feature as well, is 91,000 at level 1. If we go to its actual stats, damage per shot is 61,500. Very strong for an infantry. As, say, the Spartans have 1,600,000 damage. And Weaver, okay, sorry, Drakon, the Drakon has a really high damage output, but is actually reduced because of that the slow fire rate. So arguably the Drakon can kill a Breacher really quickly because of the damage buildup, but assuming they both are in range of each other, I feel the Breacher has an advantage. Not only because it's high actual damage output, but because I think it actually shoots faster. Nope, they shoot the exact same reload rate, but the Drakon has a disadvantage of having to build up damage through range. So that's going to be a massive penalty to you. So, the Breacher also has 75 space, which is a quarter, 20% more than the Liberator, I believe, if we're going by that logic. So they're not exactly a high population unit, like, say, the Spartan, which is 100, or the Acolyte, which is 150, or the Drakon, which is 250. It's actually a very small unit in comparison to size. So let's go to vehicles now. And this is assuming no special ops. So this is just 2 raw units. For level 1 Purifier, it has the range, the DPS, its actual damage. Fucking ridiculous. It says 0 reload, and I don't know why. But it also has a lot of health, so it can tank a lot of Breacher shots. However, that range is a bit of a thing for you. So that's 6 Breachers can easily overrun the Purifier. If we're going by a size battle, it'd deal a lot. I think maybe even 3 could I've taken it out or deal a lot of damage. It maybe counts as the Disruptor, because I know the Disruptor has anti-infantry damage. I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if the Breacher is strong enough to be able to survive a few hits to get up close and kill the Disruptor. So it's arguably, they both can counter each other in a way. My technicals, which are level 5, have less health, more range, and less DPS. However, they can hit and run, and they can also hit while moving. So I'd say the technical has the advantage. However, if someone's stupid enough not to lead them on aggressive or something, and a few Breachers charge, just the regular machine gun mode, I don't exactly feel that the technical would have too much of an advantage once they get up close and personal. Cyclops, level 1. I've been contemplating. I feel that, I mean, no one uses this unit, but I'm gonna give it a fair comparison. So range is 550, so it's got a lot of range. Its DPS, its actual DPS, isn't necessarily that bad, but it's got a slow fire rate, and it's got 1 million health. I think on a one-on-one duel, because the Cyclops actually damages, I think, double or triple damage maximum attack. And assuming the enemy is under the Corpus faction, he might actually be able to kill a breacher or two. Because it's 550 range, it's more than double, so it's going to get a lot of attacks in before the breach gets into close quarters combat. It's also a sustained damage, so, you know. The Seeker with land, I don't know. Its health is low, its range is low compared to other vehicles, and its DPS is actually low. I don't know how well it would do with the ability to hit land. So, you know. Legendary Mega Tank, just no, you're not going to win that engagement. Range is higher, health is ridiculously higher, and DPS is higher. You're not going to win an engagement against Breach. You're not going to win an engagement with Legendary Mega Tanks with Breaches alone. Legendary Hellfire has a lot of range, a lot of mediocre health, and a lot of DPS. Now, this is really determining two things: is the Breacher stationary and it's going to get hit first, or is the Breacher chasing the Legendary Hellfire from the beginning? If so, Legendary Hellfire has no chance. However, if for whatever reason the Breacher is on stand ground, then yes, Hellfire will wreck a Breacher. The Legendary Laser Tank, I'm gonna say the Legendary Laser Tank has the advantage. These units, you're not going to see a lot of because, I don't know, don't know why no one uses them. I mean, they're not bad units. I mean, 1.9 million health, that's not a bad health as a level 1 vehicle. And it's got a decent range. Sure, it can't hit air, but its health and its DPS, oh, that's the Jug, and its DPS more than makes up for it, in my opinion. So that's why I have Legendary Mega Tanks, because I see a lot of units as usable in their own way. Like, sure, Technicals are, in my opinion, some of the best Jack of all trades units. It doesn't necessarily mean they're good. It just means they can do average or slightly above or below average in every scenario, to the point where they don't really have a lot of weaknesses. They're not weak, but they're not strong. And then we have Juggernaut. Both have a short range. Juggernaut actually outranges them, and the splash damage could potentially damage the Breacher. I'm gonna say Jug has the advantage. The Phalanx. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce it. Range, it's not as big as you would expect, and I feel the auto engage range is actually shorter. You get a lot closer than maximum range for the unit to auto engage. It's good at killing infantry, but I don't know. Like, I feel that the Breacher can deal a lot of damage to it. I don't think it would kill it. Caretaker, it has no attack, it can't defend itself. So, I mean, sure, why not? I really feel, on a little bit of a side note, I really feel the Caretaker should be able to do, like, running over damage. It's a heavy fucking tank. It should be able to run over things and deal damage. The Hammer. Now, let's be honest, Breachers stand no chance against Hammers. Hammers are probably a hard counter too. It technically can hit air, so we'll talk about that briefly. Dina, 550 range. I think she gets a range tick increase. I'm gonna say that Dina counters it because of its high DPS range and because it's got stealth. I'm gonna say it hard counters it. Pandora. I'm also gonna say it hard counters it based on the 4 million health. Like, no fucking chance. Let's go through the common air units. Oh, level 1 Herald. These, by the way, these comparisons are based to the units of level of which I have in terms of units. Level 1 Herald, of course it's got a fucking hard counter. It can't fucking shoot it. So, technically, Herald is a hard counter. However, there is a catch. It's really slow. Apollo hard counters it, especially with the concussion ability. So yeah, Ripperoonie if breaches get attacked by Apollos. The Valiant. It's really a toss-up because it does say the DPS is 18,000. I don't know if it's including the rockets or not though. I mean, sure, the Valiant can do a lot of damage to the Breacher, but I mean, it doesn't exactly, I don't know, it could go either way. I'm gonna place my money on the on the Breacher, especially if you've got that double damage, built up from killing other units. Fury, yes and no. Yes if you're hitting and running, and they're not moving. No if they're standing still, because once the Breacher gets up close and personal, it's a goner. It doesn't have a lot of health. The Bonesaw, just like the Fury scenario, I'd say no. No, the health is too low. The health is too low for it to engage it. You wouldn't use Talons in an offensive way. Level 1 Sandstorm, I actually don't know. I'd say yes. And then level 21 Elite Titan. Yes, also, assuming that you're fighting at max range and the breach is coming to you. Otherwise, no. So let's talk about the abilities that the breacher has. I mean, workshop items, Oh, it has 2. It has acid rounds, which increases the area of effect, so that's always useful. And you've also got slugs, which changes it to burst. It fires a single projectile, so it's just a single shot. Can target air. I believe they also said it increases damage. Yeah. So really, I honestly see this with a lot of acid rounds, and just if any slugs to counter air. Like, you would not counter air with breaches. Their low range makes it almost useless. If you're going up against base defenses, I'd probably just stick with, say, Liberators or something long range. So yeah, so my opinion is very strong, very competitive for a survivor unit, not overpowered, not even close. It could be seen as overpowered in CQC against infantry and light vehicles, but the range is their niche. It is their thing. They do close quarters combat. They don't fight at range. Reminds me of the Colossus. I forgot of Colossus now, actually. So Colossus has, if we compare it to the Mortar Team, the ERM, the Heavy Gunner, the Valkyrie, the Elite Flamethrower, the Hercules, the Vanguard, it has a lot more health than all of them, but it has piss poor range. And surprisingly, the Vanguard does a lot more damage. I think it's because it uses plasma. So it feels like just a glorified Colossus. But with that being said, I don't feel like it. I feel like it's an offensive unit more than a defensive. Putting them in bunkers, pretty much, giving up space where units can be fighting, like Liberators, CKs, Acolytes even. Like, it's not a defensive unit. It's an offensive unit. It's a unit used to push and take the brunt of fire, while more ranged units support, like Liberators, Hammers, Bonesaws for air support. That's just my opinion on how I would use it, provided I had a decent size of all of them. That's it. So I'm gonna go. So yeah, if you like this video, I hope you do, please leave a like. If you don't, okay, I don't mind. Got any comments, please tell me. Next unit I'm probably gonna do a review on. I guess this is a new series starting today. But thank you for listening. I'll see you probably some other time. This is me out.